I was scrolling through Reddit because I had some ultra specific niche question that only a Redditor would know, and I came across this post in the SpongeBob subreddit, and it got me thinking, were niggas really moving this slimy? Besides the Sandy one, all these are federal crimes, and I'm talking life no parole, but I also had no idea what some of these were or when they happened, so I did some research, and I'm gonna go through each one of these, and if they're valid, I'm gonna let them be, but if there's some bogus, and I find something else that they done that was way worse, I'll give my own opinion on it. Starting off, we got SpongeBob and the Whirlybird incident. This one immediately jumped out to me as a bit, but after a quick Google search, that nigga SpongeBob was moving like Oppenheimer. I don't know what the hell Sandy's Whirlybird was, but it led to a lot, and I mean a lot of niggas dying. Look at all these graves, bruh. Oh, I just sat my ass here and counted. There's 91 goddamn graves here alone. And we're just looking through a window. So for SpongeBob, his is definitely valid. Apparently the same dude that stole a free balloon and turned himself in is also going band for band with Osama bin Laden. Moving on to Patrick. So his says he nearly destroyed the Bikini Bottom. And from the comments, I see they're talking about the episode Karate Star. In this one, SpongeBob teaches Patrick karate, gasses his head up about how good his chop was, and then Patrick starts wilding out. I mean, off rip, he's about to kill a baby. SpongeBob leaves for work and then Patrick just goes on a chopping spree. The ice cream guy wouldn't give him $80 worth of ice cream for a dirty, linty, stinky, half-eaten lollipop. So he just chops his shit. This dude offers him some of his food and he chops his shit too. Look how happy this nigga was, man. Now his whole afternoon is ruined. And this shit got niggas in a panic. Bro rushed into Krusty Krab begging SpongeBob for help. After he causes millions of dollars in property damage, he cuts his own hand off and makes a clone.
Unfortunately, we sea stars have limbs that grow new bodies.
That is still chopping shit. I do think this is pretty bad. I mean, he even let a group of convicted felons free, but I think the episode where he abuses Gary is way worse though. Brief summary, it's SpongeBob's old ass grandma's birthday, so he asks Patrick to watch Gary, and off rip, he dropped the nigga on the floor. SpongeBob leaves bro a list that he throws out immediately. He starts off his neglect by taking the shit from sunrise to sundown while Gary was just begging for food. Then he blue balls him by opening up the bag and then he eats all Gary's fucking food. Fast forward into bath time, Patrick baits him with the eats again. And at this point, Gary's just like, fuck this nigga, man, and just runs away from him. Patrick comes up with a bright idea to trick him to a bath. Okay, Patrick, good job, man. You're using your brain for once. I wonder what he comes up with to trick Gary. Is that a flamethrower? Then he pulls up with a fire hose and borderline drowns the nigga. And the cherry on top, he's about to dead ass pour salt on him.
Oh, now I gotta dry you off. Fortunately, I couldn't find any salt.
Salt on a snail. All that being said, I think for Patrick, what he did to Gary was way worse. But that Bikini Bottom shit is a close second. Alright, so for Sandy, I'm conflicted because the post says the worst thing she did was forcing niggas to search for SpongeBob against their will. And there is a lot of crazy shit in this episode, like making SpongeBob find a piece of hay in a needle stack, had niggas in the leech farms and in the sulfur fields.
Hey, SpongeBob!
I don't think this is the worst thing. Don't get me wrong, she was moving psychotically, but for the initial search, all she did was give a quick pep talk and everybody was on board. And the whole thing is from a genuine place of care. She thought one of his ops caught him lacking and got him for his foams. You can't really get mad at that. But I think the episode Fishbowl, where she conducts secret and unethical experiments, are way worse. Essentially, Sandy gets a book about psychology and she realized she never studied fishes before. So she turns to SpongeBob and Patrick and proceeds to set up hidden cameras and microphones, and she gives them the task to count the grains of sand in 2 buckets. And then she tells Patrick that his goofy ass is in charge.
Oh, and Patrick, you're in charge.
Nigga, what?
After his brain is done malfunctioning because niggas never been in charge before, he just starts power tripping. All of a sudden, he doesn't like the way they're counting the sand. All of a sudden, SpongeBob got more ice cream than Patrick did. So since he's the boss, he just eats them both.
Count the fuck!
Then they get more ice cream and Patrick takes both.
I'll take those, my good man.
And won't give SpongeBob his until he rubs those nasty ass feet. SpongeBob's a good one, because the moment he tells me to rub his feet, bro, it's up. SpongeBob finally gets done counting 1,000,000 grains of sand, and Patrick pulls up and kicks the fucking bucket over. Now SpongeBob about to crash on his ass, so Sandy comes and breaks it up. Bad, right? Of course. But the worst thing in this episode is Squidward. Nigga just wanted some free ice cream, and she kept saying, hell nah, fuck out of here. Then they eat it all at the very end on some happy ending shit, and he didn't get any.
You didn't even leave me one drop.
And they got bro going out weird. Had him in a cage and everything, bro. With all that being said, I think Sandy recreating the Tuskegee trials is way worse than an unwillful search party. Next up, we got Squidward Tortellini. And with no research needed, I know this is the worst thing. Nigga was moving crazy in this episode. In case y'all forgot, let's get a brief recap of this nigga's sins. SpongeBob is going around the Krusty Krab giving some good old fashioned hee hee ha ha's, cause April Fool's is his favorite holiday. Wholesome prank pranks, nothing more. And that nigga Squidward decides he can't bear the sound of his fun, so he decides to set up a crazy trap. Real quick, how do you have time to set up that trap? The restaurant is full. That shit had at least take like 20 minutes. Anyway, he's done setting up and SpongeBob takes the bait.
April Fools!
Smacks him into the flour, puts him through the spin cycle, smacks the wall hard enough for a sponge to leave a print in wood. Do you know how crazy that is? Then he makes SpongeBob literally eat ass. Damn, that nigga kinda thick. Top it all off, straight garbage time. So earlier I said the restaurant was fully packed, so he really gave SpongeBob a humiliation ritual. Hands down, the worst thing he's ever done. Next up, we got Mr. Krabs, and when I first saw this, I thought they were just gassing it. But then I watched the episode and I immediately remembered who the fuck Eugene Krabs is. So the episode is one course meal. Episode starts by Plankton blowing the roof off the Krusty Krab, and he captures SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs. And he's torturing them. Tickle torture. And SpongeBob don't want to get tickled, so he snitches with zero pressure.
Feather has to say about that. Okay.
Pearl walks in, and then we find out that Plankton is scared of whales, cause whales eat plankton. And his ass runs away. And for the entire episode, unprovoked, Krabs just pretends to be Pearl and puts Plankton in a deep depression because he's so scared. This man can't even leave the crib. He's dreaming about it. Mr. Krabs' freak ass is standing outside his window, watching his night terror, just laughing. Eventually, Plankton just can't take it anymore, so he lays on the road and just waits to get run over. Then SpongeBob eventually saves him by telling him that it's not actually Pearl, cause even he knows Mr. Krabs is wilding out. And that's basically it. This is definitely one of the worst things he's done, but I feel like Mr. Krabs it's a 1A, 1B thing, cause I made a video about him a while ago, about how he sold him SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents. And that's some scumbag shit too. But definitely cross-dressing as your daughter to drive him into suicide isn't that shit ain't cool. Next up, we got Mrs. Puff. Her said she tried to kill SpongeBob, which again, I thought this had to be hyperbolic. But hell no, she was wilding out in the episode Demolition Doofus. Doofus. It starts out with SpongeBob ore farming on his way to his driving test. Look at this nigga. Who do you think he is? And as soon as he hops in the whip, all the ore he gained dissipated. He crashes the car 3 times back to back to the point Mrs. Puff is a balloon, and then they crash. Apparently SpongeBob perma-popped her puff sack. That's a crazy sentence. But then the nigga makes a joke.
From now on, I guess we'll have to call you Mrs. Pop.
And then she crashes on that nigga, starts choking him out.
Sheesh, I don't know what she's so upset about. I think she looks better this way. As I always say, you can do.
SpongeBob was dead. I was about to fat shame, bro. This nigga wild. SpongeBob got her depressed in the hospital, and he keeps trying to make her feel better. So he wheels her out in the hallway to go take a walk. On the way out, they see the demolition derby casualties, and Mrs. Puff starts plotting to get SpongeBob gone. Forever. And she means that in the worst possible way.
And I mean that in the worst possible way.
She gets him in the derby and bro got a used sock on his face. What the fuck? But the derby starts and SpongeBob is moving like Gear 5 Luffy. He can't be hitting everything looks like it's made of rubber. And Mrs. Puff is not having it. She's like, fuck it, if y'all can't do it, I'll do it. She hops in the big body and immediately pulls a Majin Vegeta. The crowd has to go too. But she chased Brawl all the way back to the boating school, crashed into her own school, and it crumbled. And that's it, the episode ends. She gets no get back, no revenge, and SpongeBob doesn't get taught a lesson at all. This is hands down the worst thing she ever done, but in my opinion, it's valid, bro. SpongeBob was tripping. Last but not least, we got Big Plankton. Now this just says Plan Z, and I researched into what Plan Z was, and I wholeheartedly agree. It's from the movie where he successfully got the Krabby Patty secret formula, almost got Mr. Krab killed, yada yada. We all know it. And I would go over that one, but I can't find anywhere to download the movie. Only place I found, it was in 320p. Nobody wants to watch that shit. So I'm just gonna give the next runner up. Essentially in the episode, Welcome to the Chum Bucket, Mr. Krab was gambling and was so confident that he was gonna win, he used SpongeBob's contract as money, loses that shit, and now SpongeBob has to work for Plankton. Plankton spends a lot of time trying to make SpongeBob feel at home, and it's just not working out. So SpongeBob breaks out into one of the best SpongeBob songs of all time.
It's just a greasy spoon.
Eventually though, Plankton is tired that nigga SpongeBob won't make him a Krabby Patty, and he takes his fucking brain out of his body and puts it in a robot, and that robot won't make him a Krabby Patty either.
Why don't you ask me later?
What?
The real bad thing though is if you think about it, Plankton performed open brain surgery on this nigga SpongeBob and probably just had his lifeless body somewhere in the corner. That shit's just kind of weird and fucked up. But eventually Plankton runs back to Mr. Krabs and was like, I just can't take this yellow nigga, take him back. And then Mr. Krabs act like he wasn't about to go bankrupt and charges him $50 to take SpongeBob back. And then the episode ends. All's well ends well. Again, the Plan Z thing was definitely worse, but I just can't find nowhere to download the movie so I can go over it with y'all. I sincerely apologize. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed the video, drop a sub, man. We almost at 500, and check out my last SpongeBob video I made about 25 years ago. See y'all in the next one.